Hello everyone. This is a quick video on how to get started with the NetLab assignments. The instructions in Canvas are pretty clear, but it always helps to actually see what the lab is all about. We're going to start with Unit 2. We're going to be in Canvas. Go ahead and just take a look at that. And we're going to go to the NetLab assignment. Make sure you read through all of these. Make sure you read through all of these instructions. These are very specific directions. I'm going to quickly go over them. If you have any questions at any time, you let me know. First thing you want to do is download the form. It comes in a Word document. You go ahead and open that. Now this should work in Word, also in WordPad, and on this computer here it defaults to WordPad. This form is what you need to fill out and put in some screenshots. You're going to do some copy and paste, and you're going to submit that. Make sure you put your name here. Okay. And make sure you put your NetLab reservation right in here, and I'll show you how to do that. So let's get over to NetLabs. So from your favorite browser, a lot of folks use Chrome. We're going to head on over to labs.fhsu.edu. You should all have your username and password that I sent to you about a week ago. If you don't have that or the login isn't working, please let me know. We're going to log in. Okay, here we go. We're going to make a new lab reservation for myself. The lab for this week is 2.9.2, basic switch and end device configuration. Over here, you have several actions available. You can schedule the lab, you can look at the lab topology, and you can actually preview the lab instructions. Very useful if you don't want to schedule the lab yet, but you want to know what the lab is all about. You can get a copy of it right here. It's in PDF format. You can click download if you so desire. What we're going to do though is we're going to go ahead and schedule it. Click on the link, and you will see 4 pods with a line for the current time. As you can tell, these things fill up very quickly. You can reserve in advance, like today is Sunday the 25th. If you know you're not going to work on it until next Friday, just click on Friday and just pick a pod and pick a time. I'm going to pick one for this afternoon. I'm going to pick pod 3. There's something available right here. Just click on that. Alrighty, by default it'll give you about 30 minutes. That may not be enough time, so you can click on the calendar link here, and on the right hand side you can have your end time. Now you can have up to 4 hours. I'm going to click here. This will give me 1 hour and 22 minutes. You might wonder, well, from here to here is not 1 hour and 22 minutes. That is because the lab is actually a physical equipment, and it uses the extra time to shut down the equipment and turn on the equipment. Submit. It'll say OK. And if the time has come for you to enter the lab, just click Enter Lab. If you schedule this for a future time, the Enter Lab button will not appear until it is actually that time. Here we go. This may take a while. All right, here we go. Over here on the right hand side, you have a timer. It'll tell you how much time you have left. This is the topology. We have PCA, PCB, and we have switch S1, switch S2. We also have the fast Ethernet port numbers where the PCs are connected to the switch and where the switches are connected to each other. On the top, you have buttons that show you the topology, the content. If I click here, this is once again the instructions. This will give you all the statuses of all the devices. And once you click on, let's say S1, this is actually the console that you use. All right, so you're actually going to be working with physical equipment that is in a lab in Kansas. S2, we also have PCA, and we have PCB. Now we're going to go ahead and wait until this all loads up. In the meantime, the first thing that you should do, again, click on Content, open in a new window. You will want these instructions available to you as you do the lab. I'm going to have this as a separate complete window. Okay, let's try that again. Here we go. I'm going to make that a size I can work with. Here we go. So I'm going to arrange my window so that it works for me. And whatever works for you. You might have two monitors, then of course that's really wonderful. I am using the Citrix environment with Park, so I only have one monitor available. So in the meantime, as the switches and the PCs are powering up, let's take a look at what this lab is about. It gives you the addressing tables, switch S1, S2. It gives you the interface, in this case VLAN or virtual LAN 1, the IP address, and the subnet mask. So these are all given to you in this particular lab. And you can read through and follow the steps, and I will do some of these for you. Step 1 is configure the PC hosts. Configure static IP address. So what you're going to do is on each PC, you're going to go ahead and configure the IP address and the subnet mask. And then you're going to go ahead and configure the switch settings. So the PCs should be up by now, and we need to configure the IP address and subnet mask. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to click on PCA, and here we go. Now, something that is also very helpful, you can disconnect each module like so. You can undock them, which may make it easier for you to work through. And you can just move the windows around the way you want it. It's also a little bit easier to see. Okay, so let's take a look and see what it wants. This is PCA. We want this IP address and this subnet mask. And there are several ways that you can get to the settings. One way is control panel, another way is network settings. We're just going to go ahead and go through the control panel. I'm just going to type in control in the search and it'll automatically find me control panel. I click on it. Okay, and then from here, I am going to network and sharing center. Change adapter settings up here on the left. And I'm going to use Ethernet, not vEthernet, but Ethernet. I'm going to right click and click on properties. This is TCP/IP version 4. Okay, that's all that's set for now. We do have 6, but we're not going to get into IPv6 until later. Here is 4. Click on properties. Okay, I want a static IP address. I'm going to say use the following IP address, and it is going to be 192.168.1. I'm going to use the arrow to go over to the last one, and 10. I'm going to use the tab to go to the next field, subnet mask, and it automatically filled it for me, and that matches. Default gateway is left blank. We don't need that because we do not have a router in this particular topology. It's just switches, which is layer 2. And OK. Close. And we can close that. We can close that. Let's make sure that took. I am going to use the CMD command to go to my DOS window. I can just type in ipconfig, and it should be 192.168.1.10 with this particular subnet mask. All right, we're going to do the same thing on PCB. All right, and undock. Okay, same thing. I'm going to go through control panel. Network. Change adapter settings. Ethernet, hover over, right-click, Properties. Click on Internet Protocol version 4, IPv4. Click on Properties and set the IP address and subnet mask for PCB 192.168.1, oops, 111. There we go. Making sure I got it correct. Very good. And close. Very good. I can double check to make sure that took. And there it is. All right, very good. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what's next. We're going to go over to the switches. And it says click on this switch. Okay, it doesn't say click on switch S1. It means click on switch S1. So let's go back here. Click S1. I am also going to undock. Not necessary, it just makes it a little bit easier to manipulate everything. So I'm in S1 and we're going to follow these configurations and these commands. So enable, okay, configure terminal. Now in these labs, they will have the full commands all spelled out. There are shortcuts you can use. I'm going to post some of these shortcuts in the announcements. All right, host name S1. Once you see that, you can see how it switches to S1. No IP domain lookup. Okay. Enable secret class. That sets the executive privileged password. This is for the council. Set the password for the council. Okay. Now this is important here. In step 2E, it says configure and enable the SVI, the switch virtual interface, according to the address table. According to the address table, so for switch S1, it is 192.168.1.1. So let's go ahead and do those instructions here. I'm going to abbreviate int VLAN1, IP address 192.168.1.1, followed by the subnet mask. No shut. It does not say exit, but you will have to type in exit right here. Okay, and we're going to do the banner, so on and so forth. All right. When you are done, you go through all the commands. Going to do show version. This one is important, show running config. Okay, we do that. We're going to exit. We're going to do it from here. You can type in show running config if you want, or a much shorter abbreviation, show run. Just type that in, and it will do the whole thing and hit spacebar, and it'll get you next page, spacebar, next page, spacebar, next page. There we go. And as you can tell, it has the IP address listed here. It's important when you do switch S2, use the IP address for switch S2. Switch S2 IP address is 192.168.1.2. Okay. When you are done configuring all of these devices, then let's go ahead and take a look at what you need to do from a rubric perspective to make sure that you get all the graded assignments. Okay. And where is it? Here we go. The form that you downloaded for this particular lab only, it will tell you each step and what you need to do. In future labs, it'll just be an empty form and you have to actually fill that in yourself. Okay. Oh, before I forget, NetLab reservation, let's see what that is. 24 737. Okay, 24737. Okay, let's just do the first one here. Step 1B from PCA. I'm going to type in the date with the /t and then ping PCB. Okay, well, let's see how we're going to do that. So I'm going to have to find PCA. Let me just dock it. There we go. Let me move this over here. Something else you will need is some kind of screen capture software. In Windows 10, you can just use the snipping software. Let me go over to the actual thing right here. Okay, snipping tool. Here we go. So I'll have that available. All right, I am on PCA and I'm going to ping PCB. What is the IP address for PCB? Oh, it's right here, 192.168.111. So first date /t. That tells me that you've done this today on Sunday. And we're going to ping 192.168.1.11. And it is successful. Very good. I'm going to screen capture that. Okay, here we go. Edit, copy, and we're going to stick it right in here. Like so. You do that from the next thing. From PCA, I'm going to ping S1. Okay. From PCA, I'm going to ping S1. Where is that? I'm going to first clear date /t. S1 is that IP address 192.168.1.1. So ping 192.168.1.1. And here it goes. It takes a while, so the first one could be a timed out, which is fine. And we're going to do the same thing. New. And there we go. Copy. And paste it in there. All right. Then we're going to go from S1, we're going to ping PCB. And at the end of the lab from S2, we're going to do a show run and config or show run. So from there, what you would do is you would go over to S2. Once you've configured everything, as you can tell here, nothing's been configured yet. When you are done, do a show run. Just hit spacebar, spacebar, keep going. Alrighty. You don't have to screen capture this because the system will capture this output for switches and routers in the NetLab, so I will see that. Okay. That's pretty much it. If you have any questions, please let me know. And when you are done, here we go, I almost forgot this. When you are done with your lab, make sure you click reservation and end reservation now. If you are running short on time, you can always click on request more time. All right. I'm going to end reservation. And yes, and it has ended. All right, so that'll do it. Good luck. If you have any questions, please ping me, let me know, and I will help you as much as I can. All right, bye guys.